Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy VI 100%. I am a Circle Master. Cyan is done. So let's just get everything off of him. Oops. I'm not going to take him to the desert now because I'm going to have other people who also won't have full magic. So it doesn't really make sense to do that one at a time because magic points aren't split. Can I do better than the stunner? Striker is less damage, but I might proc the instant death. I don't know. Yeah, I think stunner is going to be the best we get. Make sure he's in the front row. And he can use... Jeez, which one is it? Where are the other throwing things? Come on. I've already got 99 imp armors. Jeez. So Invis Edge is the one I want. No, I didn't pass it. Oh yeah. I probably should have checked to see if he had the spell. Because that would have been easier. Yeah, he does. Oh well. I wonder if I can just use Raiden. Save myself a slight bit of hassle. Apparently not. Shadow, I really need to raise your vigor. Right, I better save now that he's set up. So I don't lose it. This is not ideal at all. This is going to take a long time, in fact. What is your trigger? Your vigor is garbage. Can I give you any different equipment to increase your stats? Red cap will give you 52. Alright, well, that's a little improvement at least. 4 extra points could make a difference. That's a couple hundred extra damage. I wonder if these guys have any elemental weaknesses. Okay, that was the opposite. Brilliant. Let's try fire. Oh, that's better. Yeah, 2 fires ought to do it. Maybe I should just do that for now. At least until his vigor gets higher. I do have a ton of gold after all. That will speed things up considerably. Alright, not against these guys though. Yeah, 55. At least I'm gaining levels pretty quick here. And this formation is still roughly 2 rounds of attacks. Olivares says, someone's take off the light because I only see shadows. That's like a level of joke that I make. You should be ashamed of yourself for that kind of joke. Oh yeah, 58. So I got 10 levels till I need to worry about equipping Bahamut. So how are you doing tonight, Olivares? Olivares isn't answering yet. I guess nobody wants to chat with me tonight. It's fair. I don't have much to say tonight either. I'm just leveling up Shadow. Pen says Pepe. Or he does a Pepe emoji, rather. Oh, he's calling sprinters in 2 now. Or are those the Spectors? I'm not sure. I'm up to 61. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, there's no way Shadow can take that. Well, the fire skin's doing more damage, so I guess his throw is based on level. We got 62. And get all the levels I can get as fast as I can get them. Psycho Ryu says, Shadow time, how many characters left to max out? A lot. I've got Gogo Umaro, Zimmer / Edgar, Terra, Cyan, Locke. So that's 6, which means I've got 8 left, counting Shadow. Where is he at? 64. He's got quite a bit of HP and MP for being level 64. Yeah, at this point it's easier to throw 2 fire schemes than to wait for Offering to do the job to these tumbleweeds. Whoops. Just because of their defense and the fact that he doesn't do so much damage yet with his dagger. What are his stats at now? Vigor's up to 74. So Vigor's up 20 points from where it was. But those things have something like 7,000 hit points. So it's going to be a while before you can one-shot him. Somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000. I think the sprinters have around 4,000, so he's still two-shotting those. Gary says, howdy everyone, hope I'm not too late. You are, you missed it. I already finished the game. This is completely different. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't know. This is my solo Shadow game. It's already in the World of Ruin. That's what you get for being 20 minutes late. Or I guess 10 minutes because I started early because I knew I was going to go long. Also, why did I do that? I'm dumb. slash not paying attention. Craig Stafford says, one thing I do like about the PC version is the 3 new espers give you quick, +2 speed, and a 100% HP. Gary asks, which are you boosting, Vigor or Magic on Shadow? Right now I'm boosting Vigor. Once that's done, I'm going to go into Magic. Gary says 3 new espers, there should be 4. Where are we at? 66, so 2 levels to go. Gary says, I think Shadow on my LLG / max stats file was able to do both to 128. That's because Shadow's awesome. That should be 67. Yep. And he's got a ton of hit points. I'm wondering if he even needs Bahamut. I think when I get to 68, I'm just going to drop a safety save and keep going, because he is well ahead of where everybody else was, both in HP and in MP. But he doesn't have Flare, which is so weird. But, I mean, look at this. Most people at this level had 1,000 HP and MP, well, 1,000 HP and 100 MP less than where Shadow's at right now. I wonder if it's equipment. It's absolutely equipment that's doing it. Okay, so he does need... I think it's because I had red cap on him. Yeah, the red cap must be boosting his HP. So yeah, he's gonna roll 4 levels. Or sorry, 3 levels. Rocky19 asked, this BC? Nope, this is the original Final Fantasy III US 1.0 card on an original Super Nintendo. All glitches intact. Gary says, don't equip that at the moment, that red cap. But it's boosting his vigor. It shouldn't affect his stat gain, I wouldn't think. Gary says it won't, but you might think that you're max when you're not yet. Yeah, well, I'm going to stick to the have it equipped until 71 plan. And then I'll go back to Vigor, and where he's at around 97, we'll check and see. I'll drop my safety save. Right now I'm just doing it for the Vigor boost so that he can kill these enemies a bit more easily. Let's see, 82. Yeah, I'll drop to 78. Gary asked about how many Vigor levels does he need. Apparently a lot. Apparently a lot. His HP is not going up. It doesn't seem like. At least it's not going up as fast as I'd imagine it would. Gary says, Circle Master, I literally rushed home from the big city an hour away to catch this stream. Twitch on the phone is so not worth fiddling with. Well, I appreciate the enthusiasm. Honestly, when SGDQ rolls around, I think I am going to fiddle with Twitch on my phone just because my 4G network coverage is faster than my home internet. I might actually be able to watch Twitch without buffering. Gary says SPDQ, no, SGDQ. Summer Games Done Quick. The speed running for charity marathon. Gary says maybe try a VPN. A VPN's not going to speed up my internet, I don't think. Yeah, I really don't think Shadow's gonna make it. But, I'll trust in the formula for now. Gary says, wait, hold up, speedrunning for charity, how does that work? It makes things shorter. No, it's a week-long event that they schedule a whole bunch of speedruns in, and you can donate during the speedruns. You can unlock various incentives, and there are bidding war things that go on. Probably the most famous of which is at every event there's a Super Metroid speedrun. And there's a bidding war for whether you save or kill the animals. That gets hundreds of thousands of dollars each event. It's crazy. I forgot to pay attention to how much physical damage I was doing. We're getting there? Gary says, I've never played such Super Metroid. Neither have I, actually. Like, at one point, I downloaded a massive Super Nintendo ROM pack with over 600 ROMs in it. And made a forum thread where I played through all of them. Not to completion, well, mostly not to completion, but until I got a game over. And for whatever reason, Super Metroid was not in this Mega Pack. So it ended up getting skipped over. Alright, I think I'm doing enough damage where I can just physically attack twice. And get those guys down. Alright, I'm in a pretty good spot. I'm in a really good spot for MP. But I'm in a pretty good spot for HP at this point. My concern level has dropped. It's not 0. I'm still going to safety save at 97. But, I don't think I'll need an excessive number of extra levels. Apparently the cat is called Spector for some reason. Yeah, that should work out. Still can't one-shot these sprinters, though. Well, there's Ultima, finally. Took him 21 levels worth of magic points to get. But he got it. Gary asks, so he's good to reach Quad 9, Trip 9. It looks like it. Like, his MP is through the roof. And he's a little bit ahead still of his level times 100 for HP, which is roughly where I'm using as a guidepost. But like I said, I'm still going to safety save and everything. Gary asks, is Interceptor just not going to show up when Shadows clear? I'm pretty sure he won't. I'm pretty sure Interceptor only triggers on a hit that otherwise would hit. Like if he M-blocks, I'm pretty sure that Interceptor doesn't trigger. Because the way it seems to work is that Interceptor jumps in front and takes damage, and then he counters. So it has to be a hit that would deal damage. It's not like Interceptor jumps in front and you get the miss message like it's a parry or something. It's Interceptor is taking the hit. So if the attack doesn't hit, Interceptor can't, trigger. Where are you at with this Esper? You're almost there. Jeez. Oops. Gary says, fun fact, if you don't hire or pick up Shadow at least once before Thamasa in World of Balance, Interceptor won't protect him for the, minute you have him in your party at that point. I have to feed my dog, I guess so. Will he still have Interceptor in World of Ruin? Or will he lose it? Or just never get it? Gary says, good question. I don't think I've ever gotten that far without Shadow. That's because he's too awesome to leave behind. Even if he does take my 3,000 gold, plus the equipment I buy him specifically for him, and ditch me after the first fight. Still bitter about that, by the way. Gary says, I totally would have reset at that point and gone back to right before / after you hired him. I think my computer case is making a weird sound. Like something's vibrating the wrong way on it or something. I don't know. Gary says, apparently this Interceptor thing is another glitch. What I'm more curious about is how Interceptor goes from Tommaso to Cave in the Veld after the end of the world. No way he doggy paddled that far. He probably just tackled a flying enemy, grabbed it by the neck in its mouth, and coerced it into carrying him there because he's freaking Interceptor. And he would. Because Interceptor is the best pup. Mr. Steelix says, do the Terra Trance glitch. I'm not sure which one that is. Gary says, I love this game, but the glitches that persist from version to version are on par with only FF1, as far as I know. Mr. Steelix says, no, he suplexes them. How's a dog gonna suplex? Gary says, oh, are you going to eventually do streams where you demonstrate glitches? There's one glitch that I have in mind to show off. And that's what my middle save slot is for. But it's like an all-day thing. So I need to have like an entire day blocked out to do it. Steelix says, the one that has her stuck is Esper until changed manual. I would have to look that one up. I'm not sure how to do that offhand. Gary says, all day, Zootalures. Is it the walk through the guard and get a Moogle instead of Celeste glitch? No. It is not. It's sort of related. Gary says, huh, I was not aware of this glitch. The Terra stuck is Esper glitch. Mr. Steelix says, saving the Suplex City King. Yeah, Suplex City, where they bend over backwards to give you a great deal. Gary says, who said that? Who? He's on YouTube and his username is Mr. Steelix. Gary, yes, you spelled it correctly. I'm guessing it's a Pokemon reference of some sort. I don't know. It sounds like a Pokemon anyway. I don't think Shadow's going to gain 17 levels in the next 10 minutes. Gary says Neelix is from Voyager, though. I know. But Steelix is not. Steelix, I think, is from Pokemon. Mr. Steelix says, imagine Sabin saying, one does not simply suplex a train. But he does simply suplex a train. Gary says Sabin totally suplexes that train, that undead train. What is his vigor at this point? 102. So yeah, it'll be like 96 by the time he's done maxing vigor. Gary says perhaps suplexing the train is this game's moment of fame in gaming culture. Probably. That's fair. Either that or the opera scene. Mr. Steelix says, Phantom Train, quote, I was a hard boss until I took a Phoenix down to the knee. Trains don't have knees. Speaking of, as apparently rare and elusive as the Phoenix Esper is, you sure did leave feathers lying all over the place. Gary says, to my knowledge, Maria and Draco is still the only opera ever written specifically for a video game. Disgaea had that opera song. I don't know if it was written for that game or if it was already existing, but it was a Japanese opera. Well, it was one song, but it was an opera-style song. Mr. Steele says that this is on emulator, use the fast-forward function. This is not on emulator. This is an original US 1.0 card on an original SNES. Gary says if you have the means, picking up FF6 Grand Finale is worth it just for the vocal version of the aria. I don't know what that is. I do have the piano collection though, which is a pretty cool rendition of the opera. Penn says maybe you could put something on the screen that says this is a real console plus game, there is no fast forward button. Mr. Steelix says I liked the video for you, thank you very much, I appreciate that. Penn says I know there is streaming software designed for overlays and such. Yeah, I could do an overlay on the screen, but it seems kind of silly. Gary says it's the orchestral rendering of specific songs from the soundtrack. I have a few piano versions from different games, but they are never very satisfying to me. I like the piano collections just because I have these grandiose dreams of one day learning to play the piano, or any instrument at all, that never come to fruition. Tallow asks, so what's left? Well, I've got to level up Shadow, then I've got to level up 7 other characters, then I've got to get them all magic, then get the rare items, the dances, and then go into Kefka's Tower for the last items, lures, and the final boss. Mr. Steelix says, Kefka, he poisoned a kingdom, has no remorse, then remembers it 5 years later and says, I was a terrible person back then. No, I think he would remember it 5 years later and laugh. And say, ah, the good old days, when I had to poison people by hand as opposed to smiting them with magic. Gary says, I want to learn to play To Xanarkand, even if it's the only song I ever learned to play in its entirety, but that might be a duet. I think I hear more than 2 hands playing it. Yeah, I remember trying to look up, actually, the Wily Castle theme from Mega Man 2, you know, the Wily 1 theme, on piano, to see if I could learn to play it, and realized that there were 3 music tracks along with the percussion, so you couldn't actually play it without it being a duet, or, you know, growing a 3rd arm. Steelix asks, what's your favorite Final Fantasy game? Mine was 1 because of class customization. I like this one. This is my favorite, 6. Close second would be Tactics. And 4. With probably in that order. Then 5. Then 1. Then I Don't Care. And then after I Don't Care is Tactics Advance. Because Tactics Advance was a huge letdown for me. Gary says, if I recall correctly, Uematsu composes all these songs on the piano first. Not that that's an uncommon thing for musicians, but that's why we end up with piano versions. Also says, I still not play Tactics. Mr. Steelix says, I had Warrior, Monk, White Mage, and Black Mage. Gary says, wait, so you do have a GBA? Yes, I have a GBA. I don't know how I'd capture footage from it. But, like, Tactics Advance is the only GBA game I own. Because every time I buy a Nintendo handheld, they release a new one. Here's some true story right now. I was a small child, Game Boy came out, I got a Game Boy for Christmas or whatever, like the original brick style, it was awesome. And I had that for years and years. And eventually, the glue holding the screen cover came off, or it dried out, or whatever, then the screen basically popped off. So I had to get a new Game Boy at that point. And, you know, by now, Game Boy Color was out, and had been out for a while. So, you know, for Christmas or birthday or whatever, because I was still a little kid at this point, I got Game Boy Color as a gift. And right after, like, within a few months of me getting Game Boy Color, they announced the Game Boy Advance. And I just got a Game Boy Color, so I couldn't, you know, get a Game Boy Advance. So, eventually that came out, and by this time I'm like early teens, doing my first job, so my parents were like, if you want it, you can pay for it yourself. But, you know, part-time job is friggin' teenager, never had the money. Or like, I wanted a PS2 first, so I got a PS2 instead, you know, whatever. I had different priorities than getting a Game Boy Advance. Finally, you know, the Game Boy Advance has come out, then whatever other versions, and then Game Boy SP, you know, the clamshell one comes out. And eventually, I decide for my birthday, okay, I'm going to get the Game Boy SP, and I'm going to get Tactics Advance, because I love Tactics. I want to at least play Tactics Advance. So I buy a Game Boy SP Platinum. I buy Tactics Advance, I get disappointed. Literally, less than 2 months later, less than 2 months after I buy the Game Boy SP, they announce the DS. So I'm cursed, because as soon as I get a new Nintendo Portable, they release the next generation. If I were to actually go and buy a DS Lite, or 3DS, or 2DS, or whatever kind of portable I buy from Nintendo, they will immediately come out with the new portable. Like, immediately. Gary says, yeah, but it's not like you have to upgrade. Yeah, except I had never played a single DS game. And everybody's like, oh, you gotta play these games, so blah, whatever. That's one of the big reasons that I gave up on trying to follow Pokemon, because, you know, I get the Game Boy Advance finally, the SP, and it's like, oh, we're doing DS, Pokemon's going to the DS, we're gonna have whatever generation that is. I forget if they did Ruby Sapphire at that point, I forget, whatever. And I had long since stopped caring. Gary says, unless it's to PS4, then you have to buy all your games over again. Why? What happened to PS4? And Gary also says, I want to play the DS version of 4, which is apparently a huge improvement over the other ports. Gary says, because the PS4 is not backwards compatible. Yeah, but like, I still have my PS2, I still have a PS3. I can just play those games on those systems. We're 118, so you need 5 more levels of Vigor, jeez. You're like gonna get 6 extra magic power and that's it. I'm not even one-shotting the tumbleweeds yet. Mr. Steelix says, play Final Fantasy 1 on the GBA on emulator for the next stream, please. I don't really want to get into emulator stuff. You know, I'd rather play... If it's a PC game, I'll play PC version. Otherwise, I'd rather play on the actual console. But yeah, I do currently have a poll up on Patreon for Patreon patrons to vote on what I do when this challenge is done. And last I checked, there is a 3-way tie. So yeah, super definitive. Mr. Steelix says, also, I just subscribed to you. Thank you. Again, I do appreciate that. Gary says, I won't be a patron until at least next month. Well, the Depending on how long it takes me to get an economizer, I may still have the poll open at that point. Mr. Steelix says use the Game Boy player and use a GameCube recorder tool. I don't have a GameCube or a Game Boy player. I imagine I could get them relatively easily, but money. I don't have any. Apparently on a decent damage roll I can one-shot a Tumbleweed. Gary says definitely put Shadow in your economizer hunting party. Why is that? Oh, because he can rock the thief knife? Mr. Steelix says, oh, you want Economizer, fight Brachiosaur, and pray to RNGesus. Yeah, that's the way to get one. But I do need at least one for full inventory. Gary says, I thought Economizer was dropped, or do you steal it? No, it's a drop, but you can steal ribbons. And I forget what you steal from Tyrannosaurs. This is, oh well, there you go. How Shadow dual wield thief knives. Mr. Steelix says 20 years later and still haven't got one. Well, I've mentioned this before, but when I was a kid and I played this, or one of the times I played this, you know, during one playthrough, I actually stayed in the Dino Forest until I had a full set of economizers. Gary asks, can Go-Go equip the sneak ring, or anyone else for that matter? I don't know. Does not look like it. Finally one-shotting the groups of tumbleweeds. Mr. Steelix says, whatever you do, don't sketch an invisible enemy. Whatever I do, I'm never going to use the sketch command. The last thing I want to do is ruin my cart. Pen asks, is sketch even that useful? There's a couple lures that you can get with sketch, but you can also get them with control for the most part. But yeah, sketch is a garbage ability. Where are we at? 95. So, yeah. Mr. Steelix says it can 1. Erase your files, 2. Break the fourth wall and wipe the whole cartridge, 3. Lock the game. Just a warning in case you do. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not risking my cart. Gary says, personally, I like discovering what sketched enemies do, but I've never played the 1.0 cart. Yeah, don't sketch in the 1.0 cart. What is he at? 98.35. Yeah, he should be fine. Gary says, yeah, but it can also get you lots of incredible items. There's an entire guide that tells you how to exploit the glitch. Yeah, if it doesn't ruin your cart, you can get incredible items. Mr. Steelix asks, what's your favorite music track in the game? Obligatory mention of the opera song. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Mr. Steelix says, mine is Dancing Mad, the last part. And now it's time for safety save. And it looks like he's actually fallen well behind in MP. That's my new concern. Did it save? That's my new concern. My new concern is, did it save? So yeah, it looks like HP is going to be fine at 98, but MP is going to be a problem. Also, I just realized I need to switch off his Esper at this point. Although I'm not sure it's worth it for 2 points of magic power. Mr. Steelix says, did you kill Zorak again? I don't know what you mean. Mr. Steelix says the praying mantis thing. Oh. Unfortunately, I'm not a fraction as cool as Space Ghost is. Well, I hit quad 9s for HP. Let's see where our MP is at. 989, so it actually went up by 13 or 16. So I should be alright. Is HP being boosted by equipment? I don't think so. No, it's still 989, everything. It's fine. Yeah, it's just a question of will he hit trip 9s in MP. So I'm going to go a little over with Shadow, but not nearly as much as I did with Cyan. Mr. Steelix says, who's your favorite class in FF1? Mine's Red Mage. Kind of partial to Black Mage. I wish that ninjas were better than they are. They're pretty garbo. And thieves are super garbo. And there we go, quads and trips. We are done with Shadow. So yeah, his final stats are that. So next up, we're going to have Sabin. Sabin no vanish. She does. Okay. Gary asks, are you going to boost anyone's magic besides Sabin, of course? I boosted Terra's magic. I'm gonna boost Drago and Realm's magic. Let's do... Hero Ring. Regal Crown and go to 49. What can I do better than 49? Oh, Circlet's 52. I'm trying to max out his magic power right now. Which I guess is going to be that. Because I'm just going to do blitzes to hit everybody. Gary asks, what are you going to do with Celeste? I don't know. I'm undecided on Celeste. But that'll do it for this stream. Once again, if you're already a Patreon patron, go ahead and vote in the poll for what I play next. If you want to vote, go ahead and become a patron. All I ask is $1 a month to be able to vote in all the polls and everything. Next time, we'll be leveling up Sabin. And until then, take care.